these should be about ready to take out. Hopefully you're able to hear me over kind of that roar of the forge. But these pieces, they're getting to a nice solid orange glow. They should be ready to take out in just a second and start to work on. Hello, and welcome back to Stout Hammer Forge. So now we're going to be working on what I guess is my first project for this page and the channel and everything. So what we're going to be working on right now is a set of hairpins. We're going to do a pair of smaller hairpins and we're going to do one longer hairpin. They are made out of 1/4 inch square bar stock. The pair is going to be cut to about 5.5 inches, and the longer one is cut to about 8 inches. The idea being they're going to be drawn out and then reworked down shorter, so the final product for the pair is hopefully going to be back to about 5.5 inches, and the longer one is going to end up at about 7.5 inches. I've got a plan in my mind. This is the first time that I've tried to make these, so we'll see how it works out. That should be the initial taper, and I'll actually see if I can put that up here. I don't know how well the focus is going to be on that, but not very good. It's a little bit better there, but I've got it tapering down to a nice gentle point. And now I'm going to flip it around. And work the other end. Now I'm going to pull out some more, the two shorter pieces, and do the same kind of thing to those. That one's back in, and now we're just doing the reverse tapers, the tapers on the other sides, and those are going to be turned into scrolls, and those are then going to be have a decorative twist put in near the top of them. So now we're going to try to put a little scroll in the end of this. using sort of some homemade scrolling pliers, and we just keep rolling it in on itself. Alright, that gives us a good start. We can also go use the anvil for it. I'm going to use this little bit of a step. We've got a nice little offset scroll there. Actually, now I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to straighten it out a little bit before we get to the twisting portion of it. And then the same process is what I'm going to do to the other two to kind of make our nice set. And we're gonna see how that works. So when you're doing your finishing on your metalwork, there are a few different ways you can go about it. A lot of people think of knives and quenching in oil and having that be a finish on it, which is absolutely okay. You can absolutely do that. There is some people just leave it unfinished with just kind of that, I guess you just call it a blacksmith finish on it. There is, like I said, there's oil, beeswax. Those are common for when you're using items that are going to be around food. So I've made like some meat forks or steak turners, and I put a canola oil finish on those so that it's food safe. Another thing that I've done for some is just kind of like a wire brush finish. I've got like a wire cut brush that I put on the drill press back there. Run it through that a few times. It puts a very, very nice looking brush finish on that, but it's going to be a little bit more prone to rust than, say, an oil finish. But the other thing people will use is paste wax. This is just Minwax paste finishing wax. It's a furniture wax, and it's a mixture of a few different kinds of waxes, and you use that in a very thin coat on there, and it puts a nice protective coating on there. Actually, as the metal heats up, when metal is hot, it expands, and so it kind of creates a porous nature to it. And they've actually found, I say they, blacksmiths that had access to high-end equipment like spectrometers and stuff, went and actually looked and saw that the paste wax, when it's warm, you don't want it to be too hot, because if it's too hot, it'll just burn off. But when it's warm enough, and I say warm enough, like several hundreds of degrees, this kind of like seeps in there and penetrates below just the surface metal, so it gets a good protective coating on there. But enough about that. Let's try to get it going. Gotta find my tongs. For anyone that's watching this that does anything with tools, always knows you're never sure where you put it down. Your last tool, it was more than half a second ago. Alright, so this just took a few passes into the forge, and it might be a little bit too warm actually, but I use that initial heat from it to start to melt it. That's an okay amount of smoke coming off there. You're going to get a little bit of it, and you don't want to breathe too much of it in, obviously, because it's not meant to be breathed. But I'm in a ventilated garage, so it's okay. I'll be all right. And I'll take some pictures again. This is the camera right now is just my phone. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm gonna go hang this up to dry, and when it's dry, I'll take some pictures and post those as well. And you can kind of see what that finish looks like on it.